This is the first podcast of the week, revolving around the Weeknd fandom. This first video is going to be solely about how the Weeknd came up, his rise in the musical world, and how he made his debut with the multiple albums he had. So many people don't know this, but the Weeknd's actual name, obviously, is not the Weeknd, but it's Abel Tesfaye. He was born in 1990, and then he changed name to his legal name to the Weeknd because of he didn't like his name, Abel. Thought it was weird, and he thought the Weeknd sounded cooler. It's spelled W-E-K-N-D without the E. He's a Canadian singer, songwriter, and record producer, born and raised in Canada, and he made his the beginning of his music started in 2010, where he uploaded a couple songs to YouTube under the name The Weeknd, and that was kind of the beginning of this snowball effect of the rise of this new artist that was actually pretty good. People stood behind him. In 2010, he also released 3 9-track mixtapes that went through 2010 and 2011. They were all critically acclaimed. In 2012, he released his first actual album, which was a compilation of over 20 songs. I believe it's his biggest album. It was called The Trilogy. 30 tracks were in that. It was the biggest album he's ever released, ever produced. And once again, that was his first album to ever come out. It had a couple of remastered mixtapes that he previously released. They were in there, and 3 additional songs. And he releases this stuff through Republic Records under the label XO, which is prevalent in a lot of his music videos and a lot of productions. You always see that kind of in the background, so it's a lower innuendo. His next debut was Kissland, which came out in 2013. It had 2 main title songs, which were Kissland and Live For, and those are both on the top of the lists in popularity for that album. The second album was Beauty Behind the Madness, which is probably the best album, in my opinion. It has some phenomenal songs, The Hills, Can't Feel My Face, really high-end popular songs. They made U.S. Billboard 100, number 1 on top of that. And then his top 3 singles, again, are Earned It, Hills, and Can't Feel My Face. Earned It actually featured in the first 50 Shades of Grey movie. It's a very sexual, erotic song, and it definitely fit that movie pretty well. All 3 of those songs actually simultaneously held the top 3 spots on Billboard R&B, which is pretty phenomenal. He has been the first artist to ever do that and simultaneously, hold all 3 of those songs. First artist in history to do that. He's also won 2 Grammy Awards and 9 Juno Awards. And in 2016, in September last year, he released his newest album called Starboy. This album was critically acclaimed as a huge backup, hyping up this event where he was going to release this song, or this album, and the song Starboy. I believe he started posting on Instagram. That was the first hint he gave fans at this new album he was producing. The next video I'll do will go into the fandom behind him and the multiple songs that accumulated to the fandom, to this big fan theory, but we can say that for the next video. And lastly, Starboy did reach that number 1 spot on Billboard R&B 2000, which is, again, pretty phenomenal. So beyond his earlier childhood, his newest album, which I'm going to focus on today, is Starboy. So it's his, again, 3rd studio album that he's produced. It was released in November 2016, again, by Republic Records. He stays with them. He's stayed with them since the trilogy back in 2011. And this new, at this point, he's had a lot of features from other artists, but Starboy was pretty unique. It had Daft Punk, Lana Del Rey, Future, and Kendrick Lamar in multiple of the songs. All of them have phenomenal experience, and they're obviously all phenomenal artists. Make sure it's still recording here. Perfect. The 3 singles that he was supported by were Starboy, obviously the face of the album, I Feel It Coming, and Party Monster. These were all huge releases. They came out before, and the music videos for these came out before the other ones kind of accumulated. Again, this album made number 1 on Billboard 2000 with almost 350,000 album equivalent units. and in the first week he made over 200,000 sales, which is pretty phenomenal. Again, that also #1 on Billboard's Canadian albums charts, which is again top of the line. He's always blown viewers away, blown critics away, blown fans away with how well he can produce music and how high he's rated on all these charts. So, kind of reverting back to a previous statement, his previous album, Beauty Behind the Madness, was released in 2015. Again, that's my personal favorite album. After that was released, he hinted at his third album was going to release. And the first big hint he gave viewers was Instagram post calling it the next chapter to his music. That was back in March 2016 when he first hinted at this. In August of 2016, The Weeknd was confirmed by Republic Records that he was making another album and that Daft Punk was going to be featured in this album. During an interview with Billboard, they admitted to their participation. And, excuse me, on September 7th, the album was confirmed on a V-Man post, and it had influence from Prince, The Smiths, Talking Heads, and Bad Brains. And then, obviously, on September 21st, the album and its overall title was officially announced, with a release for the 25th, November 25th, sorry. Overall, the Starboy album is the next step of his music, like he implied with his Instagram post, the next chapter. It really is. There's this massive idea and fan theory following this album specifically because it's his newest one. In the Starboy music video, it opens up with someone killing the artist. That someone actually turns out to be the new version of The Weeknd. His hair is cut off. It is a changing of his personality completely. His hair has always been a huge centerpiece of his entire productions. That's always been, if you see that guy's hair, you know it's The Weeknd. You know it's him. You recognize that. Fans view that as part of his entire embodiment of his persona. And when that was cut off, it kind of stopped that line of his music in a way. This goes back to Beauty Behind the Madness, even with him changing his style from the beginning of when he first came out with music. Again, I'm going to talk more about this in the next video. I just wanted to give a rundown of who The Weeknd was and their most recent and past productions of album releases. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.